There are ghosts lurking in the Shea home.
What are they doing now?
And they are restless and misbehaving.
I go, oh, now they want to play jokes on me. Are you kidding me? It's really funny. Do you think I'm gonna laugh?
But what if there was something else? Something darker and more evil?
I knew my team was in danger.
We need to get out of here. Now!
I was terrified. If this could hurt her like this, what could it do to my kids?
Rebuke him, oh God! Rebuke him!
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
I'm Tammy. This is the first time I'm telling my story.
Huntington, episode 98, interview with Tammy, camera A and B marker.
Me and my family moved into a Victorian home. I tried to create a new life for my children, but I couldn't protect them. There was evil in that house.
In the fall of 2017, the Shays move into a two-family home just outside of Boston.
I ended a 15-year relationship, and it was just my time to have a fresh start.
Guys, come on, get out.
Me and my family were looking to move, and we decided to move to Norwood.
Which room's mine? Right next to me, sweetie. Isn't it great?
I have 3 children. William, and he's 20. Shane, he's 17. And Karina, she's 10. I'm a single mom. The house fit my budget, my income.
But not everyone is excited about the move.
Great isn't exactly the word I would use.
Hey, give it a chance, will you?
When I first moved to this new house, I didn't really like it at all. I felt like I had to start over, like making new friends again.
You're just happy because it's closer to Karina.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Karina is William's girlfriend.
Oh, Karina, you got the pizza. Thank you.
Yeah, grab some breadsticks too. I am William's girlfriend. We met at high school in 2016. We've been together for 2.5 years now. Tammy is a single mother. She raises 3 children on her own. They're really close.
I know, it's not easy. I know it's hard. Just give it a chance, okay? It's gonna be awesome, I promise.
It was very hard for my son. It was hard for all of us. But I tried to stay as positive as I possibly could moving into this new house. It's a new start. It's a new start for all of us.
All right, guys, let's get unpacked. Grab some boxes.
Wow, look at those stairs.
I told you it was great. Oh, wait till you guys see the kitchen.
My house is a Victorian, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and a very good-sized kitchen.
Wow, this place is amazing.
That fireplace is so pretty.
It is.
The house is old, Victorian style, 2-family home. Built in the 1800s, it does look a little bit more modern. I think they did some renovations on it, but it still has that old rundown look. I thought it was really nice.
Can my dollies play here?
Of course they can.
All right. Who's hungry?
Me.
You. I'll get the boys. Boys, time to eat. William! Hey, boys. Shane?
Me and my brother wanted to adventure around the house. So we went up to the attic, and there's just a whole bunch of crap laid out everywhere, like old photos. It just had this vibe that, like, wasn't nice.
I was overwhelmed.
What is all this stuff?
Isn't it crazy?
There was a bed, it was boxes, Christmas trees, things from the 1800s. There was so much stuff. Why did they leave their belongings behind? I mean, why didn't anyone clean it out?
Where did all this stuff come from?
I don't know. Don't touch anything.
I just wondered, why did they get out of the house so fast? It just didn't make sense.
All right, get downstairs and eat. I think that's the second truck. Let's go. Shane?
I can't explain the way I felt. I felt weird.
Hi. I'm sorry, you can just bring the boxes in and put them wherever. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the moving people. May I help you?
Moving in, huh?
Yeah.
I want to welcome you to the house.
It's Tammy's neighbor, who lives on the other side of the house.
And he said, "Hi, how are you?"
I'm the other tenant.
Oh, I'm Tammy.
Charles.
Charles, nice to meet you. Sure I'll be seeing you around. Yeah,
Well, have a nice night.
thanks, you too.
And, hey, I hope the house is good to you.
And he's like, "Oh, just want to welcome you to the house. I hope it's good to you."
Thanks.
I was taken back from that. I'm like, what the heck? I thought he was very odd. Like, why'd he say that to me? I had no idea. A slam. It was very loud.
Boys!
For the next few days, the Shea family settles into their new home.
What have you guys been doing all day?
I was a hospice nurse, so I worked a 12-hour shift.
Hey! On your phones all day?
I don't know.
This house is a wreck. The chores aren't even done. Well, I need you to take Karina to dance. You can use my car. Shane, the laundry.
The house was very messy. I was really irritated.
Look, you guys, I need you to help me out around here, okay? Everybody just do their part, please. Go. Come on. Let's get it done.
The basement's pretty old. At the time, the basement was freezing cold. It was pretty scary. I got weird chills. I felt like something was gonna happen. And then I just got all panicky.
"17-year-old Shane Shea has just seen a terrifying entity in his Massachusetts home.
What?
I'm never going down there again.
He was like shaking and had tears in his eyes.
I saw like this girl,
A girl? What are you talking about?
a ghost. I saw this little girl with long hair and a nightgown.
It looked like a little girl, but you could not see her face at all.
Shane, a ghost.
I'm not making this up, it's real.
I just thought he didn't want to do the laundry. I thought he didn't want to go down the basement, help out. I thought he was making it up.
I ask you guys to do one thing for me, just for one thing, laundry, and you won't even do that.
You don't believe me, do you?
She didn't believe me about it, but I know I'm not crazy. I knew that like what I saw was real and I was terrified.
You know what, just forget it.
I just need you guys to help me out around here.
Forget it.
You need to help me, Shane.
I never went down in the basement again.
Shane, the laundry! Oh, what are they doing now? Shane, is that you messing around down here? I'm gonna ground you for a week.
When I came into the kitchen, every cabinet was open.
Shane? Shane! Get in here!
What?
Did you do this?
No. No. Why would I do this?
William?
What?
Did you do this?
It wasn't me.
I go, oh, now they want to play jokes on me. Are you kidding me? I go, really, guys? It's really funny. Do you think I'm gonna laugh? I go, okay, so if I didn't do it, he didn't do it, and you didn't do it, who did it?
Mom, I tried to tell you this house is haunted.
Oh!
I knew my house was haunted. It didn't want us to be there.
Ridiculous.
It's haunted. You don't want to believe me. Then fine. But something is going on here.
Hi.
Hey,
I can just take that.
you must be Tammy Shea.
Yeah.
I'm Frank. This is my neighborhood.
Nice to meet you.
New here, huh?
Just moved in a couple days ago.
Okay. Well, hope you stick around. Not too many people do in this place.
What do you mean?
I met my mailman, and he's like, so you're new? I go, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. He goes, nobody stays here. He's like, is the rent too high? I go, no. He goes, you don't know how many people moved in and out of here.
The other tenant, Charles, he just moved out too.
He moved? No, I just talked to him Monday.
Yeah. I can never figure out what's going on in this place. Must be haunted.
That's what my son says.
Oh, almost forgot. Here's your mail.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice meeting you, Tammy. Good luck to you.
So I'm like, all right, the mailman now, the neighbor just packed up and moved. I didn't know what to think.
Could the rumors be true? Is Tammy's house haunted?
I felt very uneased.
Tammy Shea has just come face to face with a female entity haunting her Massachusetts home.
Mom, what's wrong?
Are you okay? What happened? Why did you scream?
I saw a woman, a ghost.
I was very frightened, scared. I wanted to cry. I was petrified.
Tammy is now convinced her house is haunted.
I felt very bad that I didn't believe my son, that he was scared.
It was like, now you see where I'm coming from.
Oh my gosh, Shane, you were right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't believe you. I'm so...
What's going on?
It's okay. It's okay.
So what do we do?
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Figure it out.
I was a nervous wreck. Oh my God, what just happened?
Tammy feels paralyzed. Having just moved in, she has few options about what to do next.
I felt I had no control. Financially, I can't move out. I can't afford it. Where am I gonna go? Like, uproot my children once again? To a new town, to a new school?
I felt like she could actually hurt me, and I was defenseless.
It's okay. Here, what?
I saw her again. The girl.
It was the same little girl that I saw in the basement. 9-year-old girl from like the olden days. You could not see her face at all.
It felt so real. I couldn't breathe.
I got suffocated from something above, and my whole body just like laid flat. I couldn't breathe.
I'm gonna fix this. I promise. I am not gonna leave you alone anymore. Okay?
Sorry, Mom. I'm so scared.
No, me too. Me too. Me too.
Seeing Shane so upset and just this thing, whatever it is in this house, just attacking him. I was angry and I felt helpless.
Not knowing what else to do, Tammy comes up with a plan.
I'm gonna go pick up Karina.
Okay, oh wait. Before you go, I want to talk to all of you. From now on, I don't want anyone staying alone or sleeping alone in this house, okay? We're all gonna stay together. Will, you can stay in your room if Karina's with you, but otherwise, everybody in the living room, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So Shane didn't want to sleep in his room anymore. I didn't want him that far away from me so I could listen and keep an eye on him and protect him from whatever.
It affected pretty much everything. My mind was just like all over the place at the time because I didn't know what was real and what was like actually like, in front of me because I barely got sleep.
Mom, are we safe?
We are, sweetie. I'm gonna make sure of it. I've even switched my shift so I'm at home with you at night, okay?
I wanted to be home. I left hospice, nursing. I was working nights, sometimes doubles. I needed to be home with them. I could not leave them home alone.
Good night.
Every day, it's one thing after another. The stress level is very high, the anxiety is very high. It was just taking a toll on me.
Over the next few weeks, the stress level in the house continues to increase. William's girlfriend, Karina, begins to spend more time at the house to support her boyfriend and his family.
For Tammy, the house and everything that happened definitely weighed on her on top of everything else she was dealing with, so it was just another thing to pile on her existing stress. I really did start feeling bad for Tammy. In the shower, the plastic liner would always push up against me. It would feel like someone was actually pushing the shower curtain up against me. I felt like somebody was watching me, even though it wasn't possible. The door was locked, and I knew nobody was in there with me, but I just felt like there was these eyes on me, just watching me.
While taking a shower at her boyfriend's house, Karina senses a terrifying presence.
Will?
Into the mirror to the left, I see this black shadow, this man. That was the most terrified I've ever been in my life.
Are you okay?
I was in my kitchen doing dishes, and I heard Karina scream out of the bathroom.
There was something in there with me. A man in the mirror, and he's gone, and I don't know what's going on.
Karina was terrified. She was pale white.
To know that I could have been attacked in the shower still freaks me out to this day.
Mom?
Yeah.
We can't keep living like this. We have to do something.
I know. I'm gonna get help. I am gonna get help. Come on. Let's get you dressed. Come on.
My family was being like torn apart. I couldn't keep my kids safe. And I was supposed to keep them safe.
Karina and Tammy search the internet and find a paranormal team willing to help. The Spirits of New England.
I first talked to Jack over the phone. The first thing out of my mouth was, "Sir, I can't pay you anything. I don't have it." He said, "We don't charge." And I said, "You're joking, right?" I had nowhere to turn. And to hear that, I know there was hope.
I'm Jack Kenna. I'm a paranormal investigator with psychic abilities. Ellen McNeil is our founder. She's also one of our lead investigators. Sarah Campbell is one of our lead investigators, and Sarah also has some psychic abilities herself.
What do you think?
The first time we saw the house, we always just check it out, see if there is anything on the outside that could potentially be leading to any of the claims.
I can tell you when I saw the home, something seemed off about it.
There was something heavier about the house, and you didn't feel like it was a welcoming place.
I'm Tammy. So glad you guys came.
Tammy looked like she hadn't slept. She was exhausted. I just wanted to hug her and just say, "It's gonna be okay, we're here."
Ready?
Let's go.
The team begins with a walkthrough of the house. In order to keep them safe, Tammy has sent her children to stay with friends.
Usually as we're doing a walkthrough, we only have a recorder and a camera. I wanted to make sure that I was getting him on camera, especially in case something decided to show itself to us.
When I start to just walk through a home, what I'm really doing is just feeling the house, trying to use my abilities to sense what's going on in other parts of the home. And I go to wherever I'm drawn to.
What's in here?
Basement.
Let's do an EVP session down here.
Who are you? Why are you here?
With any investigation, you really never know what you're dealing with. And that's the most dangerous thing that really, in any case that you have. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're talking to.
Do you live here? What is your name? If you're here, give us a sign.
Suddenly, Jack is struck with a vision of some kind of ritual that took place in the basement years ago.
In thy name we have assembled. So Lord it be.
Jack, are you okay?
While conducting a paranormal investigation, psychic Jack Kenna is struck with a vision of a ritual that took place in the basement. When suddenly, he sees what is really haunting the Shea home.
I looked straight at it like I'm looking right now. I knew it was demonic.
We need to get out of here. Now?
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
When I moved her hair, she did have a scratch, like a nail scratch.
It felt burning hot along my neck.
Are you okay? Do you think that you can continue?
Yeah, just let me get it cleaned up and bandaged.
This thing was trying to drive us out so that we wouldn't help this family.
What happened down there?
Sarah was attacked.
I was terrified. If this could hurt her like this, what could it do to my kids?
What do you mean?
I believe there's a demonic force in your house.
A demon? How?
We believe your home was used as a spiritual temple. We were able to trace the home's history to its original owner.
During our research, we did find out that the original property in the home was built by William Duke Barry.
He was the leader of some kind of spiritual group.
And that's why this is all happening?
I had a vision in the basement. I saw men doing some sort of ritual. Because this home was used as a temple, it's a spiritual hotspot, if you will.
Often where there was spiritual activity, the demonic wants to move in there because it's attracted to that. They're just drawn to those locations in order to truthfully defile those locations.
The men didn't do anything deliberately negative. But once the home was vacant, the demons saw an opportunity to thrive here. It's been feeding off the fear of the residents ever since.
Tammy questions Jack about the woman she saw in her room. And the girl Shane saw in the basement.
Is that a demon?
No. I think there are other entities here as well. Something is drawing them here.
What is?
I'm not sure.
I suddenly felt drawn to the attic.
I need to look upstairs.
Suddenly, Jack realizes how the human spirits entered the house.
It's a portal. The mirrors, they're all portals.
It's a portal.
A portal is a passageway to the spirit realm, an opening to the other side.
According to Jack, the ritual invited a demonic entity into the home. Then the demon created the portals and called the human spirits through.
The demon is calling them through and using the spirits against you to scare you.
Demonic entities, they actually feed off of fear. Demonics will draw other spirits in through these portals so they can, again, use these other spirits to frighten, to harass, to affect the living people within the home. By scaring the family, it's creating all this negative type energy, fear, anger, hate, that it feeds off of in order for it to get stronger.
What do we do?
We need to close the portals and cleanse the house.
I was very grateful that Jack was going to help me.
Whatever you need to do.
But before cleansing the house of the demon, Jack must first identify the portals and send the ghosts through.
I'll use a St. Benedict medal hanging from a thread to try to find those portals.
The medallion begins to swing on its own accord. The bigger the swing, the bigger the portal.
To close a spirit portal, I'll envision it in my mind's eye as a torn piece of fabric with light coming through it. I'm closing the portals and pulling these spirits back through the portal to take them back to the other side. And then I will, again, in my mind's eye, I will sew that fabric shut.
It's closed.
The team now prepares to battle the demon.
This will cleanse the house. Focus on that.
Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil.
It is a spiritual battle. The more I did the cleansing and the prayer, things started to kind of ramp up.
Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Thrust into hell all the evil spirits who prowl the world, seeking the ruin of souls.
What's happening?
It was physical. It was scary. You're standing in a room that's shaking, and you're shaking.
The floor is shaking!
Rebuke him, oh God! We humbly pray! Rebuke him, oh God! Rebuke him! Thrust into hell all the evil spirits who prowl the world, seeking the ruin of souls.
What's happening? The floor is shaking!
Psychic Jack Kenna is fighting a demonic force in the Shea home.
Rebuke him, oh God! Rebuke him!
This demonic wanted us to leave. It wanted us to get out of there because it wanted to continue to terrorize this family.
I couldn't believe it. The house was shaking. It was terrifying.
You all need to pray with me!
When Jack was doing the cleansing, he was truly in a physical battle with whatever was up in that attic. It took a lot out of him.
Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness.
It sounded like hands banging against the wall across the entire attic.
So you have to just remain resolute, hyper-focused on what you're doing, and just finish.
Thrust into hell all the evil spirits who prowl the world, seeking the ruin of souls!
It's finished.
The minute everything went silent, you could feel a difference in the air. You could feel a lighterness to it. At this point, I do believe this demonic is gone from Tammy's home.
Thank you. Thank you.
When Jack and his team were done, something came over me and I'm like, wow, I think it's gone. Like, I can move on with my life.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you so much. Thank you.
After we finished the cleansing, we left there thinking that we've done the best we can do. This house is good. This house is, blessed. It's loved. She has a support team now.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yay. All right, what are we playing?
It's different. There's laughter, there's positive energy.
How was dance?
Good.
Good. What'd you get to do today?
I did ballet.
Yeah.
Contemporary.
Nice. I bet you're so good. I'm gonna come and see you next week.
Finally, the kids are able to have a normal life. They're not afraid to be in the house by themselves.
Does anybody have a king?
No.
Yeah. And there's no crying and sadness. It's only happiness.
Life now for Tammy and the family, they seem to be enjoying it a lot more, and the stress of the house has been lifted off of Tammy's shoulders.
Although the family is no longer haunted, they will never be the same again.
I think it's still affecting me today. I always really feel on edge about things, like just waiting for something to happen again.
This is a life experience. I'll never get rid of it. It will always be in my head. Even if I do move and when we do move, there'll still be the thought there. Images, things that happened in this home, I'll take with me for the rest of my life.
A $1 million mansion on the coast of Florida is rumored to house a terrifying ghost.
It felt like looking into the face of sheer evil.
Alive, he committed unspeakable atrocities.
Someone died from a hanging right there.
Dead, he continues his reign of terror.
You didn't want to turn your back. You didn't want to close your eyes for fear of what might happen if you did. I was terrified. I was afraid for my children. I was afraid for myself.
Whatever was there was after me.
Will the family get out before it's too late? In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality. Among the waterways and marshes of the Escambia Bay in Pensacola, Florida, stands a majestic $1 million mansion. In the summer of 2009, Jennifer Welburn and her two teenage daughters, Lauren and Candace, bask in the beauty of their new home.
Before we moved to Florida, it was just the girls and I. I was a single mom, trying to raise them, put them both through school, take care of all of their daily needs all by myself.
I was like, wow, this is really my house. I was like, I'm dreaming. Somebody smack me and wake me up.
Hey, Jen, you about ready to go?
I was, until I came out here.
Pretty spectacular, isn't it?
A few months earlier, Jennifer and her high school sweetheart, Jamie, reconnected and got engaged. Together, they moved into their dream house.
I found this beautiful home close to the water. It was the perfect family house because there was plenty of room for the kids.
So, Lauren, how many times did that guy call you today?
When I first met Jamie, I absolutely loved him.
Twice. No, it was 3 times.
Like mother, like daughter. Heartbreaker.
He was really sweet, and you could tell he made Mom happy. This is a guy that I can look up to as a dad.
I figured that we would live there happily ever after, but that's not how it turned out.
It turns out the beauty of the house and the surrounding land mask a violent history. Pensacola, Florida is one of the oldest European settlements in North America. By the mid-1800s, the native population had been completely overrun by new landowners. Cotton plantations flourished, and slaves accounted for nearly half of Florida's growing population.
You can imagine Escambia Bay being the waterway right on the property. It was definitely used in slave trading.
Today, the horrors of the past are buried deep, but not dead. Someone has never been able to let go of the land or the house.
Two weeks after moving into the house was when I actually noticed the first signs of something strange going on. I went upstairs and noticed that the pictures were hanging upside down on the wall, as if that's the way we had placed them. Initially, I thought that the girls might be playing a prank on me.
Lauren?
So I walked into my daughter's room.
Lauren?
And her windows were wide open.
Candace?
The blinds were pulled up.
So you know the air condition is on. Why are all the windows in Lauren's room open? She hasn't even been here all day.
I didn't open them.
Well, somebody opened them.
It wasn't me.
So I suppose you didn't flip the picture in the hallway either, huh?
Mom, what are you talking about?
Forget it. Just please keep the windows closed, okay?
Okay.
I thought it was really weird, but I decided not to pay too much attention to it, and I just put it to the side and tried not to think about it.
Over the following months, Jennifer isn't the only one who senses something strange in the new house. A few weeks after moving in, Lauren and Candace enjoy girl time at home, while their mom and Jamie are out.
The first time something happened, Candace and I were alone in the house.
What was that?
I don't know. You stay here. I'll go check it out.
And we kept hearing this noise upstairs, sounded like somebody was walking around. And I went into my mom's room where the noise was coming from.
Downstairs. What was it? I don't know.
There was nobody up there, so we just kind of swept it under the rug and just assumed that it was the house.
Probably nothing. Come on.
A few nights later, Jennifer is alone in the kitchen when she senses a change in the air, as if someone were watching her. For the past month, Jennifer Welburn and her daughters have had the distinct feeling that they are not alone in their charming Escambia Bay, Florida mansion.
I would walk around the house. I felt constantly like I was being watched, but I could never pinpoint what exactly it was. It was just a really eerie feeling.
My grandfather, from before I was even born, had shared ghost stories that just got passed down. But I never really believed in any of it myself. You have to see it to believe it.
But not too long after moving in, Jennifer has a terrifying encounter she can't explain.
It felt like looking into the face of just sheer evil.
I heard a blood-curdling scream, so I immediately ran down thinking that something very bad had happened.
What's wrong?
There's someone in the window. There's someone out there watching me.
We went outside. And there was nothing there. No one, no sign of anyone. I just didn't see nothing.
Well, whoever it was, they're gone now. Did you get a good look at them?
No, but there was someone there. It was a man. He was looking right at me.
But Jamie doesn't believe her.
It was probably just kids. You probably scared them just as much as they scared you.
Somebody was there. Somebody was there. I think maybe the house is haunted or something.
Haunted house? You've been watching way too much television. You know that stuff doesn't even exist.
Finally, I told her, let's just, let it go and keep an eye on things, make sure everything's gonna be fine, no problem.
He didn't feel the house was haunted. He thought that I was crazy. There's no way to explain what's happening, so he just didn't want to hear any of it.
Come on, let's just go on back in the house, okay? Come on back in.
I was really a battle with myself because on one hand, I knew what I had seen. I knew what I'd experienced.
Come on.
And on the other hand, I really didn't believe it.
Everything's all right.
I just could not believe that I had a ghost in my house that was haunting it.
At first, Jennifer keeps the unexpected intruder a secret from her daughters.
I was worried because I had physically experienced something and seen something that no one else had.
But she finally decides to bring it out in the open.
I've sat down with the two girls and explained to them a little bit about what I thought and what I felt, and sure enough, they were experiencing the same types of events and emotions that I was. I finally felt like, okay, I'm not going crazy. Finally, someone else can see this too.
Knowing that Mom was going through the same thing definitely made me scared. When you're the only one feeling it, you're kind of like, well, maybe it's nothing, just kind of brushing under the rug. But to know that somebody else is experiencing the same things makes it more real and definitely a whole lot more scary.
For the next few weeks, talking about the haunting only heightens the fear in the house.
As a parent, it was terrifying that my girls were having to witness a lot of the same things that I had. It was a difficult situation because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how I could help them. I couldn't even answer all of these questions for myself.
Within a few months of moving in, tension is at an all-time high. Lauren finds herself walking around on eggshells, in constant fear of the unknown and the unseen.
I was in my room, and I turned around, and it was just a really eerie feeling. Something was in my closet.
For the last few months, Lauren and Candace Welburn have been experiencing paranormal activity in their $1 million Pensacola, Florida home. Everywhere they go, the teenagers sense evil. While their mother, Jennifer, is convinced she's seen a ghost.
I was terrified. I was afraid for my children. I was afraid for myself.
Jennifer's fiancé, Jamie, doesn't believe her.
Strange things were happening in the house, but I didn't believe in the paranormal. It was such a big house, I just thought that maybe she wasn't used to it because it has its own little creaks and sounds.
Then one night, Lauren's instincts go on high alert when she feels a presence in her bedroom.
I was in my room, and I turned around, and something was in my closet. I was petrified. It had this hold on me. It wouldn't let me call for help. I tried to scream out for my mom, but I couldn't get anything out. I felt absolutely helpless. I don't know how long it was, seconds, maybe minutes before I was finally able to scream.
I heard Lauren scream
Lauren, what happened?
and could tell by the way she yelled for me that something had hurt her.
Honey, what's wrong? What's the matter?
She picked her arm up to hang on to me, to cling on to me. She had two, it looked like claw marks. They looked fresh. It was pretty new, whatever had happened.
Lauren remembers the man lunging at her, but not being scratched.
What did you do to your arm?
I don't remember ever being scratched or feeling pain. Seeing that there was completely horrifying for me. It really scared me.
Jennifer fears that the ghost she saw in the window has now attacked her daughter.
What happened?
There was a man.
She was scratched, look.
Jamie has no idea what to think. Now both his fiancée and her daughter are convinced the house is haunted.
By what?
The first thing that went through my mind is, how did it happen? Has she decided to hurt herself for attention, hurt herself and not want to tell us? I mean, I'm really concerned of what the surrounding circumstances are of how it actually happened.
She doesn't know.
There was a man. It attacked me. I'm not going back in there. I can't go back in there.
You don't have to, honey. You don't have to.
She was shaking, trembling. She didn't understand what had just happened to her. She didn't even really understand what she had just seen. As a parent, you protect your child, and I was not able to do that. I was terrified. Whatever it was definitely meant us harm.
Jennifer decides to take no chances with her daughters.
That night, we took Lauren and Candace, and we all slept in the same room. I didn't want my girls alone. I didn't want to be alone. We needed to be together where we could look out and protect one another.
No longer able to hold back her anger, Jennifer confronts Jamie about the haunting.
What are we gonna do?
About what?
About the house. Lauren was attacked. I'm really worried.
I don't know, Jen. I just can't believe this stuff is happening to us.
In the world I live in, if someone's a threat, you can face it. And there I felt like there's just nothing I could do. I couldn't really give them any peace of mind. I mean, what could I really say?
It was really frustrating that Jamie did not believe.
Well, I'm gonna find someone who can help us.
Okay.
I knew that my house was haunted. I had to get help. I had to do something because I did not know what was going to happen next.
With the help of friends, Jennifer finds Tony Talley, a paranormal expert, and invites her to investigate the house.
My name is Tony. I'm an empath, and that means that I feel things very deeply about environments and people.
Right away, Tony feels that the energy surrounding the house is off.
When I arrived on the property, something just didn't ring right. I felt very uncomfortable. The level of negativity made you feel like you had to look over your shoulder. You definitely knew something just wasn't right.
Hi, I'm Tony. Jennifer reached out to me.
My biggest hope with Miss Tony coming to the house was just to tell Jennifer that's all in her head and go back to being life as normal and just forget about the whole thing.
Hi, thank you so much for coming.
How is Lauren?
She is still really upset.
You could just really see that Jen was wearing this dress. You could see tightness in her jaws. Her whole body language just really showed that she'd been under stress for a while.
She was refusing to sleep in her room.
Well, that's where I'd like to begin. In Lauren's room. Is it upstairs?
Yes, it's the first door on your right.
Tony can immediately sense an evil force at work when, suddenly...
That dark energy, he had written his name in the mirror, H-A-L, Hal. I was awestruck. I wanted to run.
For more haunting, visit destinationamerica.com. For the past few months, Jennifer and her 2 teenage daughters have been spooked by what they believe is a ghost in their Pensacola, Florida home. Then, Jennifer's oldest daughter, Lauren, is attacked.
Lauren! Honey, what's wrong?
As I saw the marks on her arm, I was terrified. I knew that if it had attacked her on this level, I was afraid what was going to be next.
A skeptic of the paranormal, Jennifer's fiancé, Jamie, has been no source of comfort.
I just thought people were just a little overdramatic. If the wind blew, they'd blame it on a ghost. I quite frankly didn't believe in it.
Feeling desperate and alone in her fight, Jennifer calls upon Tony Talley, an empath with the ability to feel the presence of entities from other worlds.
My biggest hope was that Miss Tony would be able to come in and give us our house and our lives back again.
It doesn't take long for the ghost to introduce himself.
There was a large mirror that had partially fogged, and that dark energy, he had written his name in the mirror, H-A-L, Hal. I was up close and personal and in a one-sided fist fight with dark evil energy.
You are not welcome here. You must leave this house.
You hear about things like this, but till you see it with your own eyes, you just always kind of have a little bit of doubt when you hear other people talk about it. Well, now here I am in the situation that I can't doubt the people that have invited me. On the inside, it made me feel nervous. Even though I was very afraid, the family needed me to be stable and confident to get this energy out of their home.
The only spirit welcome in this house is the Spirit of God.
The ghost of Hal eventually draws Tony to the backyard, where a feeling of dread immediately washes over her.
As I made my way around the outside of the home, it became very clear that a lot of lives were lost on that property. As an empath, coming in contact with that kind of feeling is extreme sadness.
And then, she sees them.
I had a flash vision of multiple people hanging from the trees.
The men appear to be slaves. The house sits near Escambia Bay, believed to have been the site of a slave plantation in the 19th century. According to Tony's vision, Hal was the plantation's slave master.
I came to the conclusion that this entity, Hal, was over the slaves, somebody who mistreated the slaves. These are people that died without their last rites. They died under the most cruel circumstances. I knew this house had a very dark presence. I knew the family was in danger.
Tony gathers the family together and confirms their worst nightmare. Their house is haunted by an evil ghost.
I know who attacked Lauren. His name is Hal. And he used to live on this land.
Hal was a plantation master. It was ingrained in his personality to be cruel and inhumane. And he brought that with him into his afterlife. I could see Hal to be in excess of 6'2", very large build, very balded looking, a scour across his face all the time. You could see the meanness on this person from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. If he were to laugh or smile, it would be at somebody else's weakness or pain.
I had not told her anything about what he looked like or what we had actually seen. She came in and described it to a T.
I wanted to feel relieved, but I didn't. I felt more terrified, knowing that someone who was an expert in this sort of thing had seen the exact same figure that I had seen. It actually made me more scared to be at the house.
So how do we get rid of him?
I believe we need to do a house cleansing. And I'm going to start in Lauren's room.
At this point in time, I was willing to try anything to reclaim my house.
It was surreal that Miss Tony was able to validate some of the things that were going on there. One half of me, I wanted to believe her, and the other half of me still didn't.
I hereby banish all negative energy from this house.
I knew that at that point, the mission was to rid the house of all that darkness and all that evilness.
Through the power of light and love.
For the next few days, the family senses a levity in the house, as if Hal has disappeared.
After the cleansing on the house, it just felt completely different. It felt like it had felt when we first moved in. We had this little glimmer of hope that the cleansing had worked.
Everybody in the house just had an initial sigh of relief. Like, this is done. It's finished. I was incredibly hopeful that we were going to get our life back, that the house was going to once again be my dream home.
But the peaceful state of the house is about to come to an abrupt end. Hal is back. Ever since they moved into their $1 million mansion in Pensacola, Florida, Jennifer and her teenage daughters have been tormented by the ghost of a former slave plantation master named Hal.
All of us were scared. There was a lot of tension in the house because we didn't know what to expect anymore.
In the fall of 2009, despite her fiancé Jamie's disbelief in ghosts, Jennifer brings in an expert to cleanse the house of the evil spirit. But she soon finds out it didn't work.
He was back, and he was back with a vengeance.
I felt just a kind of a grip on my ankle. I have this just gripping fear go through my body, like this is someone trying to hurt me. I knew that someone was under my bed. Being a good Southern Christian boy, I keep a black Bible right by my bed with a .45 loaded and cocked right on top of it.
What is it?
There's someone under the bed!
I was terrified. I didn't realize what was going on and what was happening.
You got 3 seconds to come out! I'm gonna open fire!
I just wanted to get at it, and I wanted to inflict pain on it.
Ah!
There was nothing there. Nothing. That was impossible, and it freaked me out.
Jamie realizes he's up against the same evil force that's been after his family, and now it's after him.
This is my house!
I just lost it.
This is my house!
I went on a tirade.
This is my house!
A normal person would probably think I was insane.
You want to bully somebody? Bully me!
I felt so helpless.
This is my house!
I have a loaded .45 and I can't defend myself. I knew that this was Hal. He wanted to ruin my life and my family, and he was not going to stop till he did.
It was completely terrifying to know that whatever this was could pull a man out of bed like it did. It terrified all of us.
For Jamie, this was the first time that he knew in his heart of hearts that the house really was haunted. It caused him to feel like he wasn't in charge of his household anymore. There was something there that was bigger, something there that had more control. That scared Jamie.
With nowhere else to turn, Jennifer pleads with empath Tony Talley to come to their aid once again.
I was hopeful that she might still be able to help us. Maybe something was just inadvertently left out the first time that would completely cleanse the house and give us back our home and our family.
That night, Tony returns to do a second cleansing. 18-year-old Lauren and 17-year-old Candace are not present.
I need you to remain in prayer with me and focus your energy. I hereby banish all negative energy from this home.
When I was invited to come back to the home the second time,
The Lord is my shepherd.
after walking through and blessing and praying again, I knew it would take divine intervention to be able to get that dark energy out of there.
He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake.
It made me very afraid for the family, afraid for the teenage daughters, afraid for anybody else really that would come into that home. All at once, there was a very large thud on the wall directly behind me.
Tony has made someone angry.
I just kind of lost the feeling of direction.
I should fear no.
She just does an immediate stop and gets thrown back against the wall.
Tony!
It felt like somebody had punched me.
My arm.
What?
As she takes her hand away, it's pretty obvious that something,
Oh my God, what is
the
that?
only way to describe it, looked like something bitter. It was gruesome. I mean, it was bad.
It made me feel like I was up against the most evil thing I've ever faced in my life.
Tony reluctantly claims defeat. It appears Hal has won.
I can't help you anymore. Everything until now has just been a warning.
Miss Tony said that she didn't feel that she alone would be enough to rid the house and the land from Hal.
I knew Hal was not going to leave. This energy that Hal is, this is beyond where my expertise lies. Hal's energy was just not going to go easily. It really required divine intervention.
I'll find someone to help you. but I can't tell you what to do. Only your hearts can do that.
She said that there was not going to be a happy ending, that this is only going to get worse. She really felt that we were in danger.
It was devastating because you spend most of your life thinking and dreaming about an opportunity to live in a house like that, 5,000 square foot, and it turns out to be a living nightmare.
For now, Jamie and Jennifer decide to keep Hal's attack on Tony a secret from the girls. But they do tell them they are thinking about moving.
I was ready to be out of that house and try to get the normalcy back in our lives. But after everything that had happened, I was ready to go.
But it won't be soon enough.
I went into my mom's closet.
For the past 7 months, Jennifer and her family have been living in a haunted $1 million mansion near Escambia Bay, Florida, while an angry ghost targets family members one by one. An empath has had visions of a ghost named Hal, who she believes used to be a slave plantation master.
He's angry.
I was scared to death. He was a bully. He liked being in control. He liked people to be afraid of him.
And has warned them they are in great danger. The family makes plans to move out of what was once their dream house as soon as possible.
When Miss Tony shared with us that we were in danger, Jamie and I decided to have a serious talk about the house. We didn't know where we would go, but we didn't know what else to do. We had to think about the girls.
I saw this shadow figure, and I knew that it was Hal. I felt this burning feeling on the back of my neck. I just remember it hurting so bad.
What? My God!
She had a scratch going from the base of her hairline halfway down her back.
For Jennifer, this is the last straw.
We're leaving right now.
It was at this point that I said, I don't care. My kids, this is not worth this. I don't care about the house. I want out, and I want out now. As much as I had loved the house, I didn't want it.
I didn't care about having my own room anymore. I didn't care about how big the house was. I was done. I couldn't handle that house anymore.
Come on, Candace. Come on.
Doesn't matter what it costs, doesn't matter what the devastation is financially. It's time to say goodbye, cut our losses, and get my family to safety. As crazy as it sounds, I felt like I was in a fight with what was in that house.
Girls, come on, get in the car. Let's go. Get in, please. Come on.
And I've never walked away from a fight. That's the moment I had to concede that it won, that I would have to take my hit and move on. I focused straight, I put that car in drive, and never looked back.
After this happened, we were struggling financially for a little while because all of our money was tied up in the house. We sold the house back to the bank, and the house that we paid $1 million for was sold for $119,000. I'm very blessed that we were able to get out unhurt and relocate and have our family together and safe. It was a very, very difficult time.
Before I moved into the house, I did not believe in ghosts at all. I don't know that it's something that I'll ever fully put behind me. I think that it's something that I'll always deal with.
I completely believe in the paranormal now. Whereas before, I would laugh at anybody that said it. Until you live it, don't judge it, because it is real.
I was very sick for the next few years after coming in contact with that house. I had to have an emergency surgery. They removed a mystery 4-pound tumor that had doubled my intestine in half. It was life-threatening. I stopped doing house blessings altogether. I believe that opens a gateway that invites dark, evil energy.
I don't think I'll ever be the same again. I don't really think there's any way you could. You can't experience things happening like this to your family, things happening like this in your own home, and forget about it. It changes who you are. I don't know if whatever this was has manifested itself at all to the people that are living there now, but I have no doubt it's still there.
When Zoe is forced to make a fresh start, she faces her worst nightmare. A run-down home.
That's not good.
The place was filthy. There were some real problems.
A terrifying secret.
Roz, I know where the portal is.
And unwanted guests.
All of a sudden, I was hanging over the stairwell. And I just thought that I'm gonna die. This is it.
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
This has been the most harrowing experience of my life. I never thought moving into a different place would change my life so drastically.
There's a haunting interview camera AB marker.
It's still very vivid. Anytime I think about it, I can see the spirits. I was living in terror. It was just pure terror for days. I can never go back to being the person I was.
In the winter of 2016, Zoe Day, a divorced mother of 2, reluctantly moves into a new home. She's by herself. Her daughter attends college while her son stays with his father.
Home sweet home.
In 2016, my daughter was just starting college, and my son was still a junior in high school.
It is what it is.
My ex-husband and I shared custody of the kids, so they were back and forth. The kids and I had lived in Calabasas for almost 10 years, but my landlord needed to sell, so we had to look for another place. Unfortunately, at the same time, there were low inventory of rentals available. The Thousand Oaks townhome was definitely a step down from the Calabasas townhome. The house was just not as ideal.
Thankfully, Zoe's parents have come to her rescue.
Well, I've got gloves, I've got bleach, I've got sponges, I've got it all.
My parents came down and they not only helped me move everything from here to there.
If you guys need me, I'll be upstairs cleaning.
Okay. We had to clean everything. It was a lot of work involved, getting it ready to move in, livable.
Ew. Look at this. It is full of all this.
Being at my daughter's house, I didn't love being there. It didn't feel great, but we didn't want to put any negativity out about it. We wanted everything to be as happy and as homey and as positive as possible, and so that's how we tried to be.
Hun? That's not good.
Oh my God.
There were some real problems that had to be addressed by the landlord, but it was like, what could you do? We were pretty much stuck and didn't have alternatives, so it was a case of, we will make it work.
The rest of the house is just as run down.
At the top of the stairs, there was a closet door. It didn't open easily. I had to really pull on it to get it to open and really shut it to get it to close. I just knew I had to tough it out and make the best of it.
Great. One more thing to fix.
Hun, can you pass me the hammer, please?
Yep.
Beyond all odds, Zoe and her parents transformed the shabby townhouse into a livable space.
We knew it would probably be helping her over a period of a couple of days. The three of us pretty much did all the work and made it happen.
This place looks great. Thank you so much for your help.
Oh, you're welcome, honey. The place, we cleaned it up really nice and made it, made it really cute and homey.
Hey, look what I found. Oh, isn't that great?
I really hope the kids will like it here.
We had a lifestyle that we were all very comfortable, and that was difficult to change.
They'll have to.
The kids, they weren't happy about having to move. They liked it where they were. They had friends where they were. They weren't looking forward to this.
I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Let's get some food and rest up at the hotel. Tomorrow we'll get the rest of the stuff upstairs, fix anything else we can fix. Then we're heading back home.
Sounds like a plan.
But little do they know, Zoe's presence has triggered an awakening.
Slow.
In February of 2016, Zoe Day moves into a townhouse in Thousand Oaks, California, with the help of her parents.
Okay.
All right.
Got it?
Corner, yep.
Coming.
Okay. All right. Whoop. Okay.
The place was in kind of a rundown condition.
This house had so many issues. It was just one thing after another. And I just chalked it up to poor maintenance.
Almost there.
I didn't want to move. It wasn't my choice. It's just what had to happen. And so we made the best of it.
After 3 days of helping out their daughter, Laura and Robert head home.
Thank you.
I'll text you when we get to Big Bear, okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you.
Even though it wasn't wonderful to be there, it was still, Zoe had made it home.
But unbeknownst to Zoe and her parents, Zoe is not alone.
There were times when I'd walk up the stairs and the closet door would just be open, and I would look around thinking it couldn't have opened by itself because it was so stuck. I had that feeling, very unsettling feeling about being there. I didn't know why. I just felt really bad energy, and I wanted to get out.
Zoe decides to get some fresh air.
I started feeling really uneasy and like something was following me. And I kept looking over my shoulder, but there was nobody there. It was just me, but I just get a sense that there was something there. I just couldn't get home fast enough. I was afraid I was going to get jumped or something. I felt very vulnerable.
Ever since Zoe Day moved into a new neighborhood in Thousand Oaks, California, she's felt uneasy.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I was being watched and followed, and I just wanted to get back to the house and close the door. I just panicked, and I felt, I'm not safe here. I'm not safe here.
Hello? Mom, I'm not living here. It's not safe. What are you talking about? I can't live here. You've got to move me back to Calabasas. Hello?
We get the phone call from Zoe and she was very upset, saying, I can't stay here. This isn't safe. We have to move back. You could have threw a bucket of ice water in my face at that point. It was just like, what? What? And she was hysterical.
Zoe, that is your home now. There is no going back. You just need to accept it.
At that point, I was thinking that she was very much missing her old life. You know, it was just heartbreaking. And I said, honey, we're not moving you back. So that's all there is to it. You sleep on it and we'll talk about it in the morning.
She didn't believe that there was anything wrong. She just thought that I was stressed out or that I was overreacting. But I knew that it wasn't that.
Everything's gonna be okay. Good night, honey.
Get it together.
I had to be at work. And so I steeled myself inside, kind of went through the motions. I just heard this heavy, angry stomping. It was so loud. It was like a 500-pound man was just stomping. The closet door was open again.
And this is just the beginning. One night, Zoe falls asleep in the living room.
It was a very slight girl with blonde hair, just looking at me. She was very, very pale. All of a sudden, I was hanging over the stairwell. And I just thought that I'm gonna die. This is it.
Zoe Day is being levitated by a ghost inside her home.
I'm wondering, what do you want from me? Like, why are you doing this to me? I'm hanging there above the stairs. I could see the bottom, and I'm looking down going, she drops me, my neck is gonna crack. I broke down. I was terrified, and I felt powerless. I felt completely at the mercy of things I didn't understand. It's still very vivid.
Scared for her life, Zoe drives straight to her parents' home in Big Bear, California.
Blanket.
Zoe proceeded to tell me what had happened. She went through the whole experience, and she thought she was going to die. She was just hysterical. It took her a long time to calm down. I was just horrified, really. I mean, like, what is going on? It was a scary time.
Who's that? I called Roz.
Roz Reynolds is a family friend who happens to be a professional psychic.
There was no doubt in believing her. I know there are haunted houses. I've known people who have been in them, and my best advice, like right off the top of my head, is call for help.
My name is Rosalind Reynolds, and I am clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. I am very strong with balancing, healing, and clearing energy in spaces with people.
What is all this?
These are my tools that I use when I'm working.
It's okay. You can trust her.
Roz, she's been a friend of my mom's for a long time. She was the person we knew that deals with this day in and day out.
Roz begins her session with an attempt to contact the spirit Zoe encountered in her home.
I was able to see this spirit, to connect with this spirit, and I realized immediately that she was an incredibly strong spirit. It's very rare for a spirit to be able to levitate.
She could have killed you if she really wanted to.
What do you mean?
The spirit you encountered, she's powerful. But she's just a mean-spirited prankster, and that's all.
Before I even told her everything, Roz was able to describe what the girl looked like.
If the spirit had any true intention to do her harm, she would have. There was no true intent to harm. There was just the desire to be a troublemaker, create energy that she could, live on.
Why is she here? What does she want from me?
You brought her to you.
What?
You emit a light from within you. It's like a magnet that attracts lost souls.
Zoe is extremely psychic, but never felt it.
She said, you shine a light that they're attracted to, and they're coming for you.
But why now? After all this time, why?
I call it an awakening.
Zoe was at a very powerful turning point in her life. And when we reach a point where we are no longer willing to just accept the way things are going, that sort of sets it up. I describe that as boom, the wake-up call. It hits you.
What does this mean?
It means you're going to be seeing a lot more spirits.
Next, Roz attempts to figure out where the ghost came from.
I'm using the skills of remote viewing, using maps, where I am looking at just the general structure of the area. I'm putting my hand over the map, feeling energy.
Suddenly, she has a vision of a long-forgotten graveyard not far from Zoe's home.
These were not the well-marked graveyards of families, and etc. These were graveyards of people who meant nothing to anyone. No one cared, and they just eventually became swallowed up by civilization.
Roz warns Zoe and her mother the negative energy from the nearby graveyard has opened a portal inside her home.
Well, when you say open portal, do you mean spirits are just coming in and out?
Yes, they come and go as they please.
The creation of portal energy is kind of like a perfect storm situation. It's a combination of the energy, the frequencies of the land, the place, the people involved.
Although Zoe is reluctant to return to the townhouse, Roz gives her tools to protect herself and assures Zoe that she has the power to fight back.
I told her point blank, you have to take your power with this because, yeah, you're going to be victimized if you don't. They don't have any power unless you give it to them.
I was still terrified, but knowing that she had me protected was somewhat of a relief. She told me to lay crystals and pennies around the corners of the room. It created some kind of a field, electromagnetic field, that they didn't like to cross. At that time, I'd really hoped this was the end of seeing anything. I just wanted to be left alone. I wanted to feel safe in my own space. I wanted to not feel threatened in my home.
One night, Zoe touches base with her daughter who's attending a local college.
Oh, I was just calling to check in on you, wondering how you've been. I feel like I haven't seen you in a few weeks.
I've been super busy with classes. Just had a bunch of exams all in a row. Maybe next week I can stop by your place for dinner.
I tried to protect my children from this. I didn't want them to be feeling what I was feeling. I didn't want to worry them. I didn't want to put that burden on them. I would have to just deal with that best I could and leave them out of it.
Mom? You know what? I think it's best that we go out to eat. You're probably sick of cafeteria food anyway. Look, why don't I text you next week about dinner, okay?
Okay, Mom. Love you.
Love you too.
There was a guy, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, I kind of, jerked my head back and gasped. And then when I did that, he realized I could see him.
What do you want?
Zoe Day's California townhouse has become a hotbed of paranormal activity. Despite the protective measures she's put in place, spirits continue to emerge from a portal in her home.
What do you want?
They were angrily stomping. I could hear them on the walls behind. I mean, just making a ton of noise. It was all terrifying.
Desperate to move out, Zoe contacts her landlord.
At that point, I hadn't slept for about 3 days. I felt unsafe. I felt like there's nothing I can do to protect myself.
Hi, Mr. Wilson. Thank you for coming. Come on in.
Sure. What seems to be the issue?
Actually, I was hoping you'd let me out of the lease.
Let you out of the lease? Why? You just moved in.
It's personal.
I wish I could help, but you signed a year contract.
Please, I can't live here. It's not safe for me.
I'm sorry you're having troubles, but my hands are tied.
No.
When the landlord wouldn't let me out of the lease, it was upsetting. I couldn't take it anymore. And it just became clear that I couldn't be alone. I just wanted to leave.
She was, at this point, so traumatized. So traumatized, there wasn't going to be anywhere she could stay by herself.
Zoe tries to understand why she wasn't able to ward off the spirits. According to Ra, Zoe has the power within her to fight back.
Listen to me, you don't need to be afraid. What you need to do is you need to learn how to stand in your own power. You have the control, you can do this.
The spirits like to be in charge. They're very much about intimidation and harassment to try and get control of the mind and heart and spirit. Their energy is very dependent on the energy of the person experiencing the paranormal events. They want to feed on that. I had to help her get to the realization that she has the power to control this. You have to stand up and you have to take charge of this. And you have to realize that this is your life.
Standing in your power is setting the boundaries for what you will and won't allow. But when you're scared, that lets them come in.
Hello?
Zoe Day is being terrorized by spirits invading her home.
I opened the closet and it was just a black hole. And there were spirits down there. And they were trying to pull me down.
Zoe wonders if this nightmare is a message. She immediately reaches out to psychic medium Roz Reynolds.
Hello? Roz? I know where the portal is. Will you help me close it?
And I explained my dream to Roz. She was very excited. She goes, "That's the portal. That's the portal." That's how they're getting in your house. So that way you can now block that portal. We have to sear that portal closed.
I feel like where Zoe was at the time, it was an important shift in her perspective of her power and taking control of that. She was ready to get that thing shut, to stop that energy flow there.
Zoe asks her parents and Roz to join forces to close the portal.
I needed my family next to me.
Let's begin. First, I am going to encircle all of you in a white light. It is crucial during this time that each of you focus your energy on closing the portal.
I place myself in the center of that energy field in Zoe's home. I then draw a line of white light, and I ask my angels and guides to come in and reinforce the energy that I have established there. I extended up into the universe and down to the core of the earth.
Yes, that's good. Keep your minds clear. Continue to imagine the white light. Stand next to it and it will protect you. And remember, they don't have any power unless you give it to them.
She coached us through the whole process, and it involved, channeling energy and white light.
We had done all the salt and done the crystals and done the copper, and Roz felt we were pretty secure.
Roz then senses paranormal activity coming from upstairs.
There was definitely resistance to closing that energy field that was allowing, these activities to go on.
I meditated and concentrated on it and put forth my prayerful and creative intentions to get the portal closed. And as I was doing this, I felt that it was working, that it was going to stop.
I realized how much power that had to come from a place of strength and not fear, and be able to say, I don't consent, you're not allowed here.
Leave! Now! Return to where you came from!
I can see the spirits receding as that opening closes and begins to narrow down.
Now!
And the door shuts. It did feel very different the minute that process was completed. And that's how I know it has been a successful closing. Any and all vestige of their energy or any of their negative intent has been neutralized and removed.
It's done. The portal is closed.
Although the house is cleansed of spirits, the experience has proven exhausting. Zoe moves in temporarily with her parents. As for her psychic gift, she is learning to live with it.
I want Zoe to do whatever she feels like is right for her to do with her abilities. If she did nothing more, I would be fine with that. And, as long as she's happy. I just want her to be happy.
I think she's continuing to evolve since this all started. She's a totally different person now, where she was very weak and vulnerable before. She knows what she needs to do, and she's, taking control of her own life again. So that's a big change.
I definitely feel more empowered. Now I've gained a peace with it and a comfort. So it's still a journey, it's still a process. But I'm open to see where this goes. As Roz said, this can either be a curse or a gift. It really depends on you.
In this world, There is real evil in the darkest shadows and in the most ordinary places. These are the true stories of the innocent and the unimaginable.
Hey.
For Clara Dandy, life in the country promises peace and hope. But in her new house, these things are hard to find. Something sinister lurks in the woods and stalks her family. Clara relies on her faith and on the sixth sense of a respected psychic to fight a legion of lost souls. Between the world we see and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality. For nearly 200 years, the town of Hinsdale, New York, has had a kind of rural charm. Far from the concrete and crime of the city, the mountains keep their secrets.
The house sits on 8 acres of land. You're going to love it. It's
For
so
Clara Dandy, Western New York is a rural paradise. Her family has vacationed here for years to escape the stress of their life in Buffalo.
That's it, I told you, see?
We figured the country was our redemption. We seemed to get along better there. And I thought, well, maybe we should move to a country place.
In 1970, a real estate agent suggests they look at a house for sale in the town of Hinsdale.
When we saw the house, I can't really describe the feeling we had because it was so peaceful. And the air was like breathing in champagne. It was great.
It sits on 8 acres of land. Beautiful tree, beautiful mountains over there. They have concrete. The house is over 100 years old.
Clara and her husband Phil are impressed with the house.
Like you can see.
It was gorgeous. It wasn't modern or anything, but it just glowed. It was just perfect for us. It was just perfect.
Let's go. I want to show you around.
We thought, okay, this is a good place for the family.
Look at the nice stairs over here. Nice little windows inside. How am I supposed to talk to you about David Cassidy? Dan and Junior like.
The children, 13-year-old Tina and 14-year-old Mike, are excited about the move.
Buffalo's a tough town, and I'm not a tough guy. I was very much into wildlife, and so that was like just perfect for me. That's where I wanted to be.
It's a wonderful home.
Okay.
Beautiful house.
I'm sold.
Thank you. All right.
What's that door for?
Oh, let me show you. That's the crawl space of the house. I'll show it to you. So what's in there? It's like a storage. It don't be open for a while now. We can do this all the time.
Okay.
Don't have to worry about it now.
This thing is stiff. Probably hasn't been open in a while.
The crawl space was weird to me. It gave me a funny feeling. But I thought, okay, you know, it's just your city upbringing.
Open it up a little. No.
Clara thinks it is strange that there's a fireplace in the storage area.
You can make a use for something.
A few months later, the Dandy family moves to the country. Phil plans to commute to his job in Buffalo, 70 miles away. On move-in day, Clara's brother arrives at the house a few hours before the rest of the family.
don't know, sis. Look, I came here.
What is that?
There were bees. They were all over the window in there. I mean, this place was flooded with them. I mean, so I went ahead. I called the exterminator to come out here.
He said he'd never seen so many bees in one place. And it wasn't the time of year for them to swarm. So I thought, okay, this is one of my first lessons. I'm going to have to learn to live with this because this is the way it is in the country.
I don't know. They kind of go with the decor. I mean, the house is old, so who cares? I like the
Life in the country is very different from Buffalo.
Want to start?
Clara is grateful for the change.
It was very calm, very peaceful, and it just seemed ideal for us. I guess I should have known that things were too good.
You guys sure
A few
going the
weeks
right way?
later, Mike explores the woods with his new neighbors.
You guess so? So you guys ever get lost around here?
No way. We know these woods like the back of our hand.
Which way's my house?
Up there? No, it's that way. We could find it if we had to. What was that?
Probably nothing.
We saw a tall teenage boy walk past us with a gun.
Hey, this is private property.
That's the ghost.
What?
We wanted to catch up with this kid and say, what are you doing on our property? I could not explain how he could have just disappeared.
No, it's just...
Come on, you won't believe what we just saw.
Hold on just a second. Hey, hold on just a second. What's up? We saw a ghost, Mrs. D.
Just like a guy disappeared.
I was preoccupied with what I was doing.
I know what I saw.
I should have listened. I couldn't be bothered with a ghost.
A few weeks later, Clara has forgotten all about Mike's story.
Hear that? Did you hear that, Madison?
I stopped and I listened and I hear this chanting.
I said, I know I hear it.
I felt surrounded by something.
What is that? I know, I hear it. Madison, where are you going? Madison! The reason I say that is because things are a little crazy around here without you, you know?
Clara's husband calls from his workplace in Buffalo.
Oh, you can't?
She tells him about the strange sounds she heard in the woods.
I don't know that he was disbelieving, but he didn't entirely believe either.
Okay, all right, I will. Okay, bye.
So I was losing his support right there.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
You alright?
I heard this strange sound today. I went up to the woods and there was a strange sound like a Gregorian chant.
Above our farm was a campground.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, it's the campers. You know, there's campers up above there.
Come on. My mom said she heard the chanting over this way.
I decided to go up into the woods and find out what that was. The older of the neighbor boys decided he'd had enough. Matt and I were the skeptics, so we just kept going. It was slow going with the denseness of the underbrush.
This is a weird area. Really don't think anything's gonna happen.
Matt tries to meditate, thinking this may help him to contact the supernatural.
Not getting anything, Matt.
Just concentrate. Did you hear that?
What was that?
I don't know.
Sounded like an axe hitting wood or something. Let's go. Matt! Word. What? My ankle. What's wrong with you guys?
Mike is scared. He can't explain what he heard.
Mom! What the hell happened to you? Come on. Sit over here. Sit down. What?
In that spot, you know, where you heard the chanting? And while we were up there, we closed our eyes and we heard a sound like an axe thudding against wood. And then we heard a girl screaming.
You went up there?
Just said, well, you know, stay away from there. Whatever it is, we don't want to know. Just stay away from it.
That hurts.
You know, that is what you get for poking around where you're not supposed to.
At that time, I'm getting a little prickle in the spine saying there's something wrong.
I'll take this plate to the table.
Yeah.
Clara and Mike try to dismiss the strange experiences they've had in the woods.
Medicine.
All right.
I'm so hungry.
So we had a great life other than these weird things that happened. And it was too easy to explain them away and say, okay, that's all right. You know, maybe it's just something I don't understand.
Yeah, me too. Can I get some of those?
All right. Who wants it to pass the burgers over this way?
Yeah.
Want to go into town, you better get a move on.
Let's go.
See anything from town?
No, I think I'm just stay and read my book. Relax. Bye, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.
We shouldn't be long.
All right.
I looked and the window was still open. None of them had fallen.
A few nights later.
There is absolutely no way that I can come up with any physical explanation. There's no gravitational shift or vortex that can cause something to come from the bottom of the pile and leave the top on there.
Mom! Mom, can you come in here?
What, Mike?
Mama, I was sleeping and this chest set and the checkers, they fell on me from under that stack of magazines. It fell from right under there.
Mike is very logical. And this didn't make sense to him.
Clara fears that whatever has been lurking in the woods is starting to invade her home.
At first, it was like, you know, all these strange things, like
Clara
window
turns to her
slammings.
faith for answers. She contacts Father Al, a Catholic priest at a nearby university.
But Father, this thing with Mike, I mean, he's running around scared now.
But I had to find out answers somehow so I could fight whatever this thing was. And the only way to go was find a professional, somebody who would study this.
He really is.
For years, Father Al has counseled people about experiences with the paranormal.
Something is trying to get into my house, and I sense that it's already in there.
It could be a poltergeist haunting. That's where external forces exploit psychic energy created by the family. Then they come out through one of the family members.
I thought there was more to it than that.
Manifest themselves.
From anything I had read, poltergeist had no motive and no mind behind it. And this seemed to.
Would you like for me to come by your house tomorrow and say a mass?
Is there anything I can do for you, Father?
You get the family together in here.
I went to a Catholic school and I was quite confident my faith could take care of it, whatever it was. Yes.
It really bonded us closer in a way because we were together more for support.
We were all quite sure this was it. And we wouldn't have any more problems.
Let us pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
One night, while Clara's husband is away on business,
This figure passed by, and I thought it was my daughter.
Tina?
He's by the window.
What's by the window?
A woman with stringy hair.
She's gone, sweetie. Whatever it was, it's gone, okay? Okay?
Clara
okay,
realizes that the priest's blessing was ineffective.
It's gonna be okay, my love.
I thought, wait a minute. I've been taught that this works. I've been taught that a priest can come in and say a prayer and, everything's okay. It did not work.
He's running around scared now.
This is Father Al. May I help you?
It's still happening. Yeah. Tina just saw something in her room.
Everything I had ever believed in suddenly was crashing around my feet.
Perhaps I could ask him to...
Father Al promises that he will bring a paranormal expert to the house as soon as possible.
I wrote, I'm writing down everything that's happening because it's not stopped.
In the meantime, Clara knows she must keep her family calm.
Thank you, Father. All right. Bye.
I'm going to stay in control of myself. And if I can do that, then they'll be able to stay in control too.
That weekend, Mike is out with friends. Tina is asleep.
Found a dirty condenser back here, Mrs. Haig. I cleaned it up for you, no charge.
Certainly hope so, considering your prop.
What?
Heard something.
What was that?
Phil and Clara hear something outside.
Raccoons.
Tina? Did you see that? Go! Just go, 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 go! Tina? Tina? Tina! Tina, she's not responding. Phil! Oh my God, Phil, look in her eyes. Tina, are you okay? Tina? 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 Tina, honey, talk to me, please.
Am I going crazy?
No, you're not going crazy.
I'm in defense mode. I'm in Mama Bear mode. Don't mess with my kids. You know, I was starting to get mad.
I'm going to check. Don't leave this room.
Hello?
Mike calls home to ask if he can spend the night at a friend's house.
No, 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 I don't think you can stay late.
When his mother tells him what's been happening, he rushes home and brings his friend Randy with him.
He's shaken. He's pale. He almost like he can hardly keep his hand on the steering wheel. I said, "What's wrong, Mike?" And he's just said, well, things are going on at the house that I can't understand.
My father's running like a chicken with his head cut off because he's gonna do battle with whatever's happening. Are we reaching some kind of communal psychosis or something? What's happening?
Quiet.
What's in there?
Quiet.
The overhead lights go out, even though the power is still on in other parts of the house.
I hear scratching.
I know.
It's the crawl space. Stay back, buddy.
Is it stuck? Is it stuck?
It's coming.
Have you been working on the...
Bricks from the fireplace have been stacked in the middle of the floor.
No, nobody's been in this room.
Oh my God.
It took some doing to cart all those bricks all the way across the crawl space.
Oh my God.
I thought, oh, no, I thought, I can't fight this thing. Whatever it is too strong.
Father Al returns to the house accompanied by Alex Tanis, a respected psychic whose abilities were studied at the American Society for Psychical Research.
Alex Tanis was a real presence. When he looked at you, there was an intensity. It was like he was looking into your soul.
The family leads him to the crawl space.
This is where the noise came from.
Please, don't tell me anything.
What do you see?
I see bodies.
Tina?
I have a very strong feeling that many people died in this house. Some died of natural causes. Some were murdered. This property used to be a stopping point for stagecoach passengers. What I'm getting is that someone nearby robbed and killed the travelers. Their bodies were placed in the crawl space until they could be buried. I sensed the presence of 7 different spirits.
It was freaky. It was really scary. And I thought, man, we got the guy. This is the guy. He knows what we're talking about.
Let us pray that these souls might find release.
Missing piece of the puzzle.
I think things should calm down.
Clara has renewed hope. The house feels more peaceful.
Whatever his presence did, it calmed the place down.
Mike and Randy are skeptical of the psychic story about the murdered travelers.
They were right here.
They search for proof of an old stagecoach route near the house.
Okay, so according to the map, the stagecoach went through here. Yeah, see, the track goes all the way down that way.
They see a strange light in the trees.
This gotta stop.
I couldn't breathe. Something was pushing against me. Almost like somebody's having you in a bear hug, squeezing you.
Mike, what's going on? Where have you been?
Randy and I, we went into the woods and
Mike was,
while we were out there, we found an old road.
oh Lord, something's going on.
And while we were out there, we saw these orbs of light in the trees.
We gotta do something. We gotta do something. I said, what? What on earth can we do?
Honey, it's dangerous.
We've got to do something.
inside, guys. Just go.
Mothers deal with, cuts and bruises and falls and homework and stuff like that. They don't deal with things that can't happen, and that couldn't have happened.
Clara fears that there is nothing left to do but move out of the house. But this seems like an unrealistic solution.
There was really no place to go. We had sunk all our money into that house, and I didn't want to be beaten, neither did the kids.
A few days later.
Yes, are you Mrs. Dandy?
Yes.
Do you have a son, Mike?
Yes, I do.
There's been an accident.
We just took Michael to the emergency room.
Bad.
He has a serious head injury and a ruptured spleen. We're taking him to surgery now.
He was bleeding so bad, they said they'd have to remove his spleen.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, folks. I know it's a tough time for you. Yes. In the ambulance.
The state troopers who had gotten him out of the car said that Mike had said someone was in the car with him.
We searched for a passenger, but we're unable to find anybody else at the scene.
He was by himself.
Weeks later, Mike wakes up from a coma.
Mike? Can you hear me?
Mom, I can't see.
Mike, just don't move, honey. You've
Mom.
been in a bad accident.
Maybe I was clutching at straws. Maybe I wanted somebody to blame. But my gut reaction was that whatever was in the house had done something.
Many people have died in this house.
There's been an accident.
Father Al and psychic Alex Tennis return to the house to make one final attempt to end the haunting.
I'm going to try and decipher your house. Confession is good for the soul, even after death. Obviously, there's some spirits here that feel they have a story to tell. Okay?
God bless you, Father.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
There is someone here with us.
The psychic has a vision of a young girl. He senses that she is in pain. He also senses the presence of other spirits.
At some point, there was a boy of 18 or 19 who entered this house. He is deceased now, but his energy is here. There are others here, too. And I am deep, dead cold now. And the chill grows stronger.
The psychic has a vision of one particularly angry spirit in the room.
The energy. A young woman is telling me she does not want to leave. The woman used to lock herself in this room and not come out. She does not want the other energies to leave. No. No, you must leave. You must leave. No, the answer is no. You must leave. You cannot stay in this house. You cannot stay. Let go. Just let go.
The psychic and the priest must try to release the negative energies in the house.
We'll start by holding hands.
The priest prepares for a common exorcism, the most extreme action that he can take on his own authority.
And release the energy that is evil.
He said there were multitudes of entities there. Whether these were people who were murdered there, I don't know. He didn't say that, but that was the implication, that they must have been the people who had been murdered there.
Let us pray.
I think Father L considered this his last chance to get rid of whatever was there.
The celestial host, Saint Michael
And I
the
think he
Archangel,
pulled out the big guns.
defend us in the conflict which we have to sustain against Prince.
This was the culmination.
Rulers of this world of darkness.
This was going to do it.
Against the spirits of wickedness in high places.
It had to work this time.
Come to the rescue of man whom God has created to his image and likeness, and who he has redeemed at a great price from the tyranny of the devil. Cease by your audacity, cunning serpent, to delude the human race, to persecute the church, to torment God's elect, and to sift them as wheat. This is the command made to you by the Most High God. Let God arise, and let his enemies be scattered, and let them that hate him flee from before his face. As smoke vanishes, so let them vanish away as wax melted before the fire. So let the wicked perish at the presence of God.
What I remember was the feeling of, wow, they've got to go. I mean, this is strong. This is powerful.
Amen.
Yeah, after the ceremony was over and the dust had settled, the place was blissful. It was the way it was when we moved in.
For several months, the Dandy family lives in peace. But within the year, the haunting begins again. The family is forced to move. Unable to find a buyer for the house, they declare bankruptcy. Clara has come away from her experience, conflicted about her own religious beliefs.
I have trouble believing in anything anymore. I really do, because I think formal religions, maybe each one of them has a little bit of the truth, but none of them have it all. And not enough of them admit that this type of thing happens.
Little Marie has a new house and a new playmate.
This is fun. Him's right there.
But when her parents realize her friend is not flesh and blood,
Oh my gosh, Marie, where did you get that boo-boo? She says, Mommy, he grabbed me.
playtime is over.
How do I protect her? Someone's in Marie's room! How do I save her?
You gotta get me in there!
There's something in front of the door!
There was nothing gonna stop me from getting in that room. Nothing or no one.
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality. In 2010, the Barber family, Olivia, Jesse, and 5-year-old daughter Marie, move out of Olivia's parents' house and into their own home.
Our house was a cute little ranch-style house. It was perfect for us just starting our family. Little, tiny, comfortable, and cozy.
We were both excited about this new house.
These the ones you're looking for?
Yep, those are them. Oh, she's so little.
It was our own, it was gonna be ours. It was all for us to grow as a family.
I believe this is yours, young lady. I almost tripped on it in the stairway.
Thanks, Daddy. Mommy, can I go out there to play?
Marie is a very active child. She's very fun-loving.
Sure, but just stay where I can see you. I'll be out there in a few minutes.
Okay, kiddo, give Daddy a kiss. I've got to go to work.
even though she's only 5. I've noticed with her going to school now, she makes friends fairly easy. Just an outgoing kid.
Jesse, my childhood sweetheart. I knew he was just gonna turn out to be this fantastic provider, husband, father, friend.
What about me? Going off to work without even a goodbye?
She's my whole everything.
Get out of here.
The town of Elkton sits on the Chesapeake Bay, an hour drive from both Baltimore and Philadelphia.
Elkton is a very small town. Pretty much everybody knows everybody. It has that almost like a rustic charm to it. We thought it was a safe neighborhood. We thought it was going to be a great place to start our family. Having our daughter grow up here, all her memories were going to be here. She was going to have friends here. She was going to go to school here. We thought it was going to be forever. Marie loved to play outside in the backyard. She had a driveway she could ride her bike on. She had a swing set. As long as she was outside, she was happy.
And the backyard proves to be the perfect playground for neighborhood kids.
Connie with my pinkies. Like that. Pop! I'm ready! This is fun.
There was one day Marie was playing. I went to go check on her.
My second favorite color is green.
She was having a conversation.
Hey, sweetie. Who are you talking to? My friend Jackson. Jackson, huh? Where's Jackson from? He lives here. Oh, in the neighborhood. Well, that's nice.
In that moment, I was really starting to get excited. She was playing with the neighborhood kids because she was adjusting.
You know, next time he comes to play, I'd like to meet him. Come on, let's go get some lunch.
To the Barbers, the neighborhood is finally starting to feel like home. Until a few nights later.
When I woke up, I was scared to death. I couldn't fathom somebody beating on somebody's wall, you know, in the middle of the night. It sounded like somebody's hand was hitting the side of the house.
What? What's going on?
Did you hear that banging on the wall?
What banging?
Something banged on the wall.
I was still kind of groggy because I was woke up from a dead sleep. It took me a few seconds to register what she was trying to tell me. She was hearing banging.
Honey, maybe it's just some kids playing ball outside. It's okay. All right? It's okay. I'll go take a look around.
I went into protective mode. I've checked room after room. There was nobody outside. There was nobody in the house. I couldn't come up with anything. I didn't find anybody.
Okay. Olivia Barber is thrilled. Her 5-year-old daughter Marie has made her first friend in their new neighborhood.
This is fun.
Who are you talking to?
My friend Jackson.
When Marie first started talking about Jackson, it was how awesome he was, how he wanted to play, he liked doing things that she liked to do. There was one day Marie was playing. I went to go check on her.
Is it silly?